After 14 years of cubing, it's safe to say I've amassed quite a collection. A collection of over 65 cubes. So the last time I did a collection video was on my old channel back in 2011. And safe to say I think it's time for an update. So many years later and many cubes later, I bring you my updated cube collection filmed a year ago in 2022. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, now that we have the table cleared, let's get into the collection. So I'm gonna start off with the 7x7s. I'm gonna start with this V-Cube 7 here. Now this is a very special cube to me. I'm not super in love with V-Cubes, but this was the first 7x7 I got, and I got this in May of 2010. And I was finishing my freshman year of high school, and I had just begun cubing about 6 months prior. Yeah, this is a great cube. It still performs really well. I broke it in a lot. It still locks up a little bit. Never was good at turning these big old pillowed cubes. Now this 7x7, I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest with you guys. This was given to me for Christmas by my stepdad's boss at the time, who ended up suing my stepdad for something he didn't do. I don't really know how I feel about this cube. I kind of just want to desecrate it or mod it or do something with it. Alright, so now the Shengshao Mini 7. This was my first good 7x7, and this is right around when I started to get really serious in speed cubing. Super buttery cube. And now for my main 7, I still just have the Qi, what's it called? The Wuji? I think, yeah, this is the Wuji. Qi Wuji, non-magnetic, but it still turns really good. It's so smooth, it's so like light and airy, and super buttery turns. This is a good one. So with 7x7s out of the way, we can move into 6x6s. So starting with this big honker right here, Chunga 6x6. This is a V-Cube 6, and this was paired with the V-Cube 7 and the 5 that I don't have. And I did pin mod this. Let's see if I can find a pin. Might be hard to see, but we got a pin. So this was back in the day when the Pi mod was a thing. Probably as good as it's gonna get. I'll zoom in on that pin. Back in the day when 6x6s sucked and V-Cubes were all we had. This cube is really chunky to turn. It's gross, I don't like it. So yeah. So now we have a Shengshao 6x6, and this is the first decent 6x6 I had. It's super loose. I put the pieces in the dishwasher and put it back together, and it just became a totally different cube. It became very light, very loose, and very fast. Yeah, this is a fun one. So first good 6x6, Shengshao 6. And my current main is the X-Man Shadow version 1 that I magnetized myself. I'm impartial about this cube. I do like how buttery it is, I like how smooth it is, and I like how stable it is. I love a stable 6x6. But it does turn really slow, and I've noticed after some averages I do get really sore hands. Alright, let's move on to 5x5s. These are all that I have left of 5x5s, unfortunately. So let's start with probably my earliest one that I got. It's a Moi Bochuang. It's a decent 5. It's very sandy on the turns. Very stable 5x5 too for the most part. It's not too like flexy, but it does lock up more than I'd like. But it does have very buttery turns. All right, so then we have this Shengshao Mini. Got this one in like 2016, I believe. This was a cool one. It's the size of a 3x3, so here's like a 56 mil. So it's about the same size, 56, 57. And yeah, this is a fun one. It does pop a lot, but yeah, cool one to have in the collection, Mini 5. All right, next we have this interesting 5x5. So this is a funny story. All my cubes have funny stories. So this is the second Qi Wushuang that I bought, and the second one that I magnetized myself. The first one I lost somewhere, have no idea where it went. So I brought this to West Virginia in 2021 for my friend's wedding in June. So it stayed at his house for almost a year, and it's June 2022 now as I'm recording this. And I finally got it back in the mail, and I did get it back with all the pieces in. But when I was cleaning it out, because it was so dirty and gross, I snapped one of these pieces right here. Oh yeah, I can't do F turns. Gotta say 2 gen. Alright, so, and now for my main 5 that I have right now is the MGC 5x5. This is one of the best 5x5s I've ever felt. It is so buttery, it's so bubbly, it just feels very soft, and it's quiet, and the turns just feel really good. Super stoked on this 5. Alright, now getting into the 4x4s. Oh man. So I'm gonna start with, I think, the earliest one in my collection, which would probably be this one right here. So this is my original Moyu Aosu. but it still turns really good. And this was my first like main 4x4 that actually felt fast and controllable and stable. Didn't lock up that much. So yeah, super stoked on this one, and I'm never gonna get rid of this cube. I love it so much. And next we have the sister of that cube is the Mini Yaosu. I got this at a competition in Berkeley. A kid sold it to me. This cube is actually, it feels a lot different than this one. It feels more clicky. It feels faster also. It's about as controllable, if not more. I actually did main this after that one for some time. Yeah, love this cube a lot, and I will never get rid of this one either. All right, I think this is the next cube that I got. It is the Kung Fu 4x4. This is an obscure one. Not many people remember this brand. It kind of just came and went. It was a little budget cube brand back in like 2016, I believe. And this 4x4 is not bad. It was only $8, and it feels very comparable to even budget 4x4s of this time. I don't have much nostalgic value for that one, but it's still cool in the collection. So now we have my Cuboids. This was my first 4x4 that I magnetized. It was my main for a long time. I'm still bouncing around with it. I still love this cube a lot, and I've done many sols on this. I even compressed the springs a little bit to give it more of a loose feel. And this cube is a cool one. So this is a Cuboid also, stickerless, also magnetic. And this was actually the one that was factory magnetized that they were selling on the cubicle for $40, I believe. Could have been $45. And this was given to me when I bought the $10 mystery box, and I actually got this one in the box. And I was pretty stoked because I paid $10 for a $40 cube. So that was a good investment. And this is one of my main 4x4s that I bounce around with a lot. Yeah, it's super fast. Hope you guys enjoy me spamming T-perms. All right, and then after that I got the Yushin Blue. And this is a 60mm cube. And this cube, I don't know how to feel about it. I really love it. Sometimes it pisses me off. It turns really fast. And so yeah, this cube is dope. It's got good magnets in it. It's very smooth, very controllable. But sometimes I just like can't recognize this color scheme. All right, just bought this cube like a couple days ago. It came in the mail, I think 2 days ago. And this is the YJ something 4x4. It's like the Zhilong or something, but it's a 56mm 4x4. And my gosh, is this 4x4 fun to play with. It's super light, super crispy, super fluid turning. It's effortless turning. It's amazing. This cube is so fast. It's the fastest 4x4 I've ever played with. This is my main right now, and I love it a lot. I have big hands too, so it does look really small in my hands. Table's getting pretty stacked here, so I hope you guys don't mind some cubes in the background. We're gonna move on now to the 3x3s. All right, lots of 3x3s in the collection, but I'm gonna start with this one first. All right, so this cube right here is one of my earliest cubes that I have, and unfortunately, I don't have any more of my old cubes. And this is the only one that I have from that era. It's the F2, and I am glad that I have it because this was my first like main 3x3 that I was really fast at. To be honest, it still holds up to this day. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to make a video on this cube because it's actually like really fast, really controllable, and it's like actually better than some 3x3s. And it doesn't pop that much too, even though it has the old edge design, old Rubik's design. It still performs super well. Like, I'm surprised. Like I can, oh, centerpiece, but that doesn't count. It still locks up a little bit. It's not perfect, but yeah, this is a great one for the collection. All right, next up, unfortunately, is the only Dian Guhong that I have. It is version 1, I believe. No torpedoes in this one. Yeah, I'm glad I at least have one old Guhong in my collection. And now we have one of my favorite cubes in my collection. I'm not gonna lie, this cube means a lot to me. This was my first Dian Zanchi. This is my first main 3x3. First 3x3 where I started to get really fast. And I'm definitely gonna do a restoration video on this one because it is very gummy, it's very gross, and it needs to be fixed. I want to bring it back to its former glory. Yeah, this is a great one. All right, next up we have a purple Dian Zanchi. I don't remember when I got this. I know it was sometime after this. This one turns not as good as that one. It's I'll deal with that later. Oh, these are probably my favorite cubes in the collection. I love these two so much. These are my two Aolongs. And I wish I still had my original version 1 Aolong. I don't know what happened to it. I believe I lost it or gave it away, sold it. Don't remember. I have a feeling I lost it because that's why I would have bought the Aolong 2. I'm glad I at least have an Aolong at all. So this was my second main 3x3 after the Zanchi. I'm pretty sure I was using the Zhanchi up until when I bought this. This thing changed my cubing. It was so fast, and it's still one of my favorite cubes in the collection. And since I had this one, it started to break in, and like it didn't feel as good as it did when it was new. So I bought a brand new one, and this one actually doesn't even have nearly as close to the amount of solves that one does. So yeah, love my Oolongs. All right, and then after the Oolong, we have Thunderclap version 1. This one is very similar to the Oolong, very similar design, very similar feel as well. Definitely louder, definitely a little faster than the Oolong, I think. And then the very disappointing Thunderclap version 2. This, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't understand why cube companies make a very good version 1 and then drop a horrible second version. Yeah, this thing just sucks. It was very, very unstable, very like, I wouldn't even say crunchy. It's like a very bumpy turn. It doesn't feel great. It's a very sticky, catchy, bumpy turn. Next up, we have Goguan Yueshao. My good friend Graham Siggins actually had one of these, and I tried it out. And I said, man, I really want to get one. I believe everyone that has had this cube describes it as it sounds like it's underwater. Very weird sounding cube, but it's a very fun one to play with. It's a very stable cube. Very stable, very blocky. And it was one of the first cubes that did the square corner design. This is a cool one for the collection. And then after that, this is my Weilong GTS2. This is probably my favorite cube in my collection by far, and I actually still main this today. I bounce around between the GAN Air SM and this one. This is just the fastest cube I've ever had in my life, and it is also the first cube I ever magnetized. All right, so yeah, this is my main to this day. All right, and then we have the first GAN cube. This is a great story to this cube. I actually won this in a cubicle giveaway. They were giving away, I believe it was a Weilong GTS2, M, Volk M, and this one, I think. So there were 3 winners, and I was one of them. And they said, which one do you want? And I said the GAN UM, and I got it. But yeah, this UM is pretty much almost dead. It is very, it just doesn't really, yeah, it's kind of hard to control. It's just kind of lost its glory. All right, so the next cube is the cube that came right before it, and this was the Volk that I magnetized myself. And it is pretty much close to dead as well. I've done so many solves, tens of thousands of solves on this thing. So yeah, it's pretty much dead. But yeah, still a good cube. After the GAN UM, I bought a Yueshao Pro, magnetized it myself. This cube is really heavy, it's super hard to turn, and it hurts my hands a lot. Not too stoked on this cube, but it is a fun one to play with every now and then because it is a very gummy and buttery cube. Then I got the Weilong GTS2, also magnetized it myself, and I still come to this cube every once in a while. Fun fact, I actually set my 2 fastest times on this cube in the same day, both of which were 8-second solves. Yeah, and that was back in 2018, so that was a while ago. Anyway, yeah, solid cube. And then I had to get another GTS before they discontinued them. I think I bought this at a competition from some kid and then re-stickered it, cleaned it up, and it still performs very well. It's honestly not as good as my OG GTS, but it actually feels like more stable, to be honest. Love this cube so much. Glad I at least have 2 GTSs. And then the GANs, I believe these are the last 2 in the 3x3. So this is a GAN Air 356 that I bought and magnetized it myself. So practically a UM. There's something weird about this cube. It does not feel anywhere near as good as the UM. And then my Air SM that I got at Nova Cube 2017, I believe. Or it could have been the competition in 2018. I don't remember. I bounce around between this one and the GTS1. Love this cube a lot. Super fast, super controllable. I get some really fast times on this one. All right, so that does it for 3x3s. I'm gonna gather those purple Zhanchi pieces and move on to 2x2s. So I actually almost forgot, before we do the 2x2s, we gotta do the mini 3x3s. This is the 42mm Zhanchi. Yeah, this cube actually performs really well for a 42 from back in like 2012 era. So yeah, that's a cool one for the collection. Then we have a 40, yeah, this is a 45mm Mofeng Jiaoshi 3x3. Yeah, this one's super solid. Then we have a 50mm Mofeng Jiaoshi. This one is super buttery. It's actually one of my butteriest cubes in the collection. All right, and then we go back to one of my oldest cubes, similar to the F2. Got this at a cubing competition in Berkeley in 2010. Second Rubik's Cube competition I ever went to, actually. And unfortunately, I had a white mini C to go along with it, and I believe I lost it. I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. Definitely lost it somewhere. But yeah, at least I still have this one. My dad bought this for me at the competition, and this became my one-handed cube for many years. And goddamn, is it horrible. And we got the 50 mil Zanchi. I actually bought this when I was living in San Francisco in like 2016. Just always had wanted a 50 mil Zanchi, and I did play with this one a lot. I remember playing with this one when I'd walk to work sometimes, just to kill time, to get some practice in. Yeah, love this cube. Actually love the sticker shades too. All right, then we have some awesome minis. Let's start with this one because this is the older one. I actually got this one from Graham Siggins. I think he sold it to me or gave it to me, I don't remember, but this is a Wei Long mini. I think they only had one version of a mini Wei Long. Yeah, this is a 55 mil cube, I think, or maybe a 54. But yeah, it is super buttery, and it's cool to have a Wei Long from the olden days. I wish I had one of the full-size Wei Longs, but at least I have a Wei Long. And this one is a very special cube for me because it is the closest thing I can get to a version 1 Ao Long, which was probably my favorite cube. Even though it got a lot of hate for the corner twists, I just love how it felt, and I progressed so much with that cube. Alright, now we have some interesting 3x3s. These are my stick shift 3x3s that I had converted into stick shifts in my old manual car that I don't have anymore. But I ended up keeping these as souvenirs, and I'm glad I did. Alright, so that does it for 3x3s. Now we can move to 2x2s. So let's start with the oldest one. I believe that is my Ling Po. So this is Ling Po. It still performs really well. It does feel a little bit sluggish and outdated, but yeah, it's still a cool one for the collection. And we have this mysterious Tang Po that I have no idea where it came from. I really don't know where this came from. I maybe found it at a competition. Sometimes I bounce between this as my main. And then we have this mysterious cube that I had no idea what it was. Until last night, actually. I found out this is a Yushin white. I did a lot of looking, and yeah, turns out the edge pieces have a Yushin engraving on them, and that's what made me figure it out. I don't know how I feel about it. I magnetized it myself, and it just turned into a mess. My least favorite 2x2 of the 5. It's my Chuwen. Mohuan Shoshu Chuwen, I think that's what it's called. I just call it Chuwen. It has a really weird name, but yeah, I magnetized it myself, and this is actually one of my main 2x2s. I bounce between this one and the Tang Po a lot, or sometimes the Diane. Yeah, it's just a very buttery, very like bubbly cube. It just feels really good, and it's very, very soft on the magnets. It feels really good. And now my Diane 2x2. I think Graham gave this to me. Yeah, and this is one of my mains that I bounce around with a lot. Alright, let's move into Cuboids real quick. I won't go into these too in depth because I did make a video about these already, but a lot of these I handmade myself. So I'll start with the ones that I just recently bought. This is my 2x2x3 that I got, Chi 2x2x3. I'm glad I have a solid 2x3 in the collection that I can play with and that feels really smooth and speed cubable. And then we got this 3x3x4, the Yi Shen, I think that's what it's called, something like that. It used to have pink, but yesterday I spray painted it red, and it's super solid, and I'm really glad I did because now I can really recognize the colors easier. I did not like the pink. Yeah, and this one's a dope one for the collection. Super glad I have a 3x4. I haven't had one since like 2011 or 12. Oh, almost forgot about this one. Little Z 2x2x1, or 1x2x2. Yeah, I just bought this one because I made one and just wanted one that actually like felt solid. So yeah, this one's cool. All right, now we get into the ones that I made. This is my 1x2x3. Super stoked on this one. It turned out really well. I put magnets in it to make it even more stable. Super glad that it turns well and that it's at least somewhat stable. All right, and then we have my 1x2x2. This one is kind of butt, I'm not gonna lie. I did hand carve the inside core myself, and this one actually was a hard one to make, but it turned out pretty decent, not gonna lie. Yeah, this is a fun one to have, and I'm glad I made this. This one's the best one of the handmade puzzles. This is a 2x2x3. As I said, I'm not gonna go too into depth of these. Made it myself, mini Rubik's Cube, turns really well. And my handmade domino. This is the ugliest of the 4 that I made, but it's surprisingly really buttery. Made this from a Chi sale, and yeah, works pretty well. Super glad that I had a domino for a couple days before I bought the new one. Yeah, it's a fun one for the collection. All right, Cuboids out the way. Let's get to the minxes and the odd shapes before my battery dies. So here's what we got. So starting with one of the oldest ones I have, at least 2 of the oldest ones, MF8 Megaminx. That is absolute garbage. Oh my gosh, like it's so gross. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it like, some of the layers don't turn, it just locks and it's sticky. Look at this. Pieces are like glued together and it just pops. I don't know what's going on with this cube. It's all kinds of messed up. This is a QJ cube, I believe. It's QJ or Lan. I don't remember. But yeah, this was a fun one to have in the collection for a while. This is a white cheese cube that I got from competition. I wanted a good cube, a decent cube, and it's just the one I used today. And then my X-Men Galaxy Megaminx version 1 that I magnetized myself. This one was a tough one to magnetize because I had to actually drill holes into the corner pieces. So this was a fun one to magnetize. This is my main Megaminx, so it's a decent one. Yesterday I actually magnetized this Moyu Pyraminx. Took the ball bearings out of the innards and I magnetized the layers. It actually turns really good. It's fast. All right, and before my battery dies, we got this master cube that my friend Austin gave me. I have never solved it to this day, never want to solve it, and I lost a corner piece. I have no idea where it went. All right, and last but not least, my cube ice. This is actually my little necklace I made. Made this a couple weeks ago. Brother gave this to me for Christmas. I had no idea what to do with it, so I made a necklace out of it. And it's really fun to wear, and I get a lot of compliments on it. All right, so the video is not quite over yet. I have gotten 5 new cubes since I filmed this a year ago. First, let's start with MGC 7x7. Finally picked up one of these, magnetized the Wuji, but I figured out that I needed something a little faster and more stable, so I ended up getting one of these. Best 7x7 I've ever used, love it. Then I got an MGC 6x6 shortly after all that footage was filmed, and it is really good, super fast. Almost got a sub 3 on this in comp as my overall PB. Just cleaned it out the other day and it is feeling really good. I'm ready to get some fast times. And then for my birthday, my little brother got me this MGC 4x4. It is black and it is currently lubed with my secret lube that's coming in the next video. Who will be on the lookout. Love this thing, super fast, but not quite as good as the YJ 4x4 that you saw earlier as well. And then I got a X-Man Bell Pyraminx version 2. I know it's a little outdated at this point, but I just needed something better than the Moyu Pyraminx, and this thing is really good for me. I love it. Not super into Pyraminx, but I like this one. And I did this for my girlfriend. This is actually the Thunderclap version 2, but with a custom cut sticker job. And these are stickers that I got from Michaels. Yeah, if you guys saw my last video with the Cuboids, I mentioned Michaels has vinyl stickers that you can cut and put on cubes. And these look absolutely incredible. And finally, my new main 3x3, the X-Men Tornado version 3. This thing is absolutely incredible, and it is my favorite 3x3, and I'm so glad I finally have a nice, up-to-date, fast 3x3. Super stoked on this one. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was a very, very difficult video to make, and it took a year, but I'm finally done. And yeah, I have a pretty massive collection going on from cubes I've acquired over the years. Now, this isn't all of them. Some of them are with my girlfriend, some of them are disassembled. But yeah, this is most of them, I think. Oh, no, I forgot about that one. There we go. All right, video done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it, and hope you enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, drop a sub, and leave a comment letting me know which cube that you would like in your collection if you could have any of these. All right, thank you guys so much. See you later.